Chapter 15. Light.
We know that light is a form of energy. It enables us to see the world around us. In the absence of light, we would not be able to see anything. Let us understand how light enables us to see things around us. When light, say sunlight, falls on any object, say a flower, the flower reflects the sunlight falling on it in all directions. When the sunlight reflected by the flower enters our eyes, we are able to see the flower. Thus, light enables us to see objects from which it comes.
Light travels along a straight line. We observed a lighted candle first through a straight drinking straw and then through a bent straw. Straight straw, bent straw. Looking at a candle through a straight and a bent straw. We are able to see the candle flame through a straight straw, but not through the bent straw. This is because light travels in a straight line. Normally, light does not bend on its own, and therefore, it cannot reach our eyes through a bent straw. This property of light by which it travels in straight lines is called rectilinear propagation of light.
Reflection of light. When we throw a tennis ball at a wall, then the ball bounces back. This means that when the tennis ball strikes the wall sends it back. Similarly, when lights fall on the surface of an object, the object sends the light back. The process of sending back the light rays which fall on the surface of an object is called reflection of light.
Activity 1. Light gets reflected from a plane mirror. Things needed: torch, chart paper, a pair of scissors, thermocol, dark colored sheet, plane mirror. Method. We spread a dark colored sheet of paper on the thermocol. We now fix a plain mirror strip by pressing it on the thermocol sheet in inclined position. We place the torch in such a way that its light is seen along the chart paper on the thermocol sheet. We now adjust its position so that the light from the torch strikes the plane mirror at an angle. This light is called incident light. Observation. We will observe that the light passing through the slits is in straight lines. The light reflected by the mirror is also straight lines showing a similar pattern. This light is called reflected light. Conclusion. Light gets reflected by well-polished shining surface like a plane mirror. Real and virtual images. Real image. The image which can be obtained on a screen is called a real image. A real image is always inverted. It is formed on the same side of the mirror where the object is placed. The images of actors and actresses on the screen in a cinema hall are real images. Virtual image. The image which cannot be obtained on a screen is called a virtual image. Virtual image is always erect, upright. It is always formed behind the mirror. Our image in a plane mirror is an example of a virtual image. If we hold our right ear with our left hand, it appears in the mirror that we are holding our left ear with our right hand. This left-right reversal of an object and its mirror image is called lateral inversion. So we can say the image in a plane mirror is laterally inverted with respect to the object. Characteristics of image formed by a plane mirror. The image formed in a plane mirror is of the same size and shape as the object, virtual and erect, laterally inverted with respect to the object, at the same distance from the mirror as the object. Spherical mirrors. Such mirrors are called curved mirrors or spherical mirrors. A spherical mirror is that mirror whose smooth and polished reflecting surface is a curved surface. Spherical mirrors are of two main types: concave mirror, convex mirror. Concave mirror, a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved inwards, is called concave mirror. Concave mirror, side view. Concave surface which reflects light. Silver coating protected by paint. Convex mirror, a spherical mirror whose reflecting surface is curved outwards, is called convex mirror. Convex mirror, side view. Convex surface which reflects light. Silver coating protected by paint. Terms related to spherical mirrors. Center of curvature, C. The center of the sphere of which the spherical mirror is a part is called the center of curvature of the spherical mirror. C is the center of curvature. Pole, P. The center of the reflecting surface of a spherical mirror is called its pole. P is the pole. Principal axis. The imaginary line passing through the center of curvature, C, and the pole, P, of a spherical mirror is called principal axis of the mirror. PQ is the principal axis. Principal focus, F. The principal focus of a spherical mirror is the point on the principal axis, where all the light rays, which are parallel to the principal axis, meet or appear to meet after reflection. F is the principal focus of a concave mirror and a convex mirror. Focal length, F, in lowercase. The distance between pole, P, and focus, F, of a spherical mirror is called its focal length, F. Uses of concave mirrors.
Concave mirrors are used for many purposes. Some of the important uses are given below. Concave mirrors are used as shaving mirrors by man to see an large image of face. Women also use concave mirrors as makeup mirrors to see an enlarged image of the face, such as painting eyelashes. Concave mirrors are used as reflectors in torches, headlights of vehicles such as cars, scooters, buses, trucks, and train engines to get a strong straight beam of light. Concave mirrors are used by dentists to see an enlarged image of teeth.
Uses of convex mirrors.
Convex mirrors are used for many purposes. Convex mirrors are used as rear view mirrors or side view mirrors in automobiles such as cars, scooters, trucks, and buses to see the traffic coming from behind. Big convex mirrors are used as vigilance mirrors in big shops and stores. Convex mirrors are used as staircase mirrors on the double-decker buses.
Spherical lenses. A lens is a piece of any transparent material, glass or transparent plastic, bound by two curved surfaces or by one curved and one plane surface. When light rays pass through a lens, they bend and change the direction. So, lenses work on the refraction of light passing through them. Lenses are of two main types: convex lens, concave lens. Convex lens. The lens, which is thicker in the middle and thinner at the edges, is called convex lens. It is a converging lens and has a real focus. Concave lens. The lens, which is thinner in the middle and thicker at the edges, is called a concave lens. It is a diverging lens and has a virtual focus. Terms related to spherical lenses. Principal axis. The line joining the centers of two spheres, C1 and C2 of which the lens forms a part is called principal axis. C1, C2 is principal axis. Optical center, O. The center of the lens is called its optical center, O. Principal focus, F. The principal focus, F, of a spherical lens is the point on the principal axis, where all the light rays which are parallel to the principal axis meet or appear to meet when they pass through a lens. F is the principal focus of a convex lens and a concave lens. Focal length, F. The distance between the optical center, O, and focus of the lens, F, is called focal length, F. Uses of convex lens. Convex lenses are used as magnifying glasses. They are used as reading glass to read very small print of a book. Convex lenses are used in making spectacles, cameras, microscopes, telescopes, etc. Uses of concave lens. Concave lenses are used in making spectacles for people who cannot see distant objects clearly. White light is composed of many colors. Have you ever seen a rainbow in the sky? It appears usually after the rain when the sun is low in the sky. It is always formed in the direction opposite to that of the sun. It is seen as a large arc in the sky with many colors. When observed carefully, we can see 7 colors in a rainbow, though it may not be easy to distinguish all of them. These are violet, V, indigo, I, blue, B, green, G, yellow, Y, orange, O, and red, R. Written as Vibgyo. In the rainbow, the red color appears on the upper arc and the violet color on the lower arc. When white light is reflected from the surface of a compact disc, CD, we see many colors. Sir Isaac Newton was the first scientist who proved that white light is made of lights of 7 colors.